Welcome to Caffeinated Conspiracies, where mysteries, conspiracies, and the unexplained come to life. Grab your favourite brew and get ready for a mind-bending journey through the extraordinary.
I'm Omar, and
I'm Glenn, and together we're your hosts as we sip on curiosity and explore the enigmatic.
In each episode, we'll dive deep into the unknown, unravelling tales of intrigue and shedding light on the secrets that have baffled the world for centuries.
we're not just here to tell you the stories.
We're here to question them, dissect them, and invite you to join the conversation.
So, brew your curiosity, prepare to be captivated, and let's embark on this caffeinated adventure together.
This is Caffeinated Conspiracies.
And we're your guides through the uncharted.
Grab your coffee and let's dive in.
In this riveting episode, we navigate through the murky depths of Loch Ness, exploring historical origins, eyewitness accounts, and the enduring fascination with Nessie. With the help of our special guest, we delve into the mysteries, theories, and controversies surrounding this elusive creature. From ancient myths to modern-day sightings, we traverse Loch Ness, the landscape, to separate the fact from fiction. All sipping on our favourite caffeinated concoctions. Grab your coffee, brace yourself for the unknown, and join us in this thrilling journey into the depths of the Loch Ness Monster. So, welcome to this week's episode of Caffeinated Conspiracies. As always, I'm here, Glenn, your host, along with my co-host, Omer. Omer, man, how's it going?
I'm here. Does that count?
That counts. That counts. For a Monday of the new year, it counts. I mean,
that there was a lot of drinking and a lot of food consumed over the 2 weeks of the break.
Oh no, mine was mostly flu. So I mean, it's not been good. Most of it's I've had the last week in bed. This is like my first proper day out of bed, fully. I've been to work and I'm on it. I'm ready. But as we did say in the intro, there we have a special guest on the show, and we have another guest from another podcast. Yes, it has happened again. We've got Liam from the Let's Talk About It podcast, and also lots of other things that you've done. Liam, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Feels like a long time in doing this.
It has, yeah, because I mean, we were planning this for ages and our schedules have all just been mixed up and all over the show. You lost a laptop, Christmas came and just ruined everything for everybody. It's just been absolutely ridiculous, but we finally got you on. First off, how's your show going?
Yeah, it's going good so far. We've just passed over 200 downloads on the first
Excellent.
seven episodes. So
Nice.
I mean, that's great. It's the fact as well that we sort of found each other when you were sort of starting off a show as well. We'd just come back onto the scene because we'd been gone for quite a while and we were starting this show. And the great thing is we've managed to sort of like push each other and help each other's shows, which has been fantastic. And it's always nice to have another show that's sort of quite similar as well in a way. You do quite a lot of the similar topics as well as lots of other topics that we haven't touched on. And it's just great to have you on board and come on. And obviously, it's nice to have another podcaster on. Now, I know obviously we have had Dave in the past, who is another podcaster on another show that I've been on, and we've got Adam later this season as well, who does a new show that I will be sort of co-hosting on as well. So that'll be nice to have everyone else on board. But with this show, we're going to be looking at the Loch Ness Monster this week. Now, usually I go through and just find out what we know sort of thing. So, Liam, I'll go to you first. Loch Ness Monster, have you done any research, or are you just coming in with what you know, or are you going to wing it and hope for the best?
done a little bit of research, found out a little bit more than I already knew. But
no, he hasn't. Look at him, he's lying. He's come straight on and he's going to wing it. Because that's all we've done.
I feel like most of the time we successfully wing.
Yes. Yeah, why plan when you can wing it? It's always the best way. But yeah, you've got some information, which is great. So, did you find anything that sort of like that you didn't know previously while doing the research?
Well, I didn't realise it had apparently been about for that long.
Yes.
It has been.
I was shocked at how far back it went.
Yeah, that surprised me a
That was
lot.
one thing that threw me as well. It's like you think it was like recent legends, but it's not.
Oh no, 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 no! This goes way back. I mean, I've had a fascination with Loch Ness for years, which is the whole reason I went there a few years ago on holiday. Is for the fact that I've always loved the idea of the Loch Ness, and actually going there and actually seeing it for real. Being out on the boat. I hate water.
The monster or the lake?
Just a bit of both. Just the history of it all and the fact that it was, you know,
You
it
saw
was,
the monster, is what you're saying. Just to clear this up. Am I
can't-
mishearing it?
I cannot confirm nor deny that I saw something. It could have been the whiskey that you have on the boat with hot chocolate. It could have been the fact that I had 9 of those on the boat. And I don't quite remember getting back to the hotel from the boat. But leave that aside because that doesn't account to this, okay? There's something completely different. What happens on the boat stays on the boat, okay? But yeah, I had a great time.
Oh, is that why it's still like up in the air? Loch Ness. What happens on Loch Ness stays on Loch Ness. That's why no one ever has confirmed the sighting.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what it is. Omer, what about you? Where'd your research take you for this?
I think this one shocks me in terms of, because I feel like it wasn't as old as we mentioned at the beginning. And like the research made me think it's much older, so it is much, much older than I thought it was. Because I thought it was like, a couple of 100 years max. Oh, no. But no. And then I think I spent more time looking at sort of the crazy theories, which I made up one of my own, which I'll get to at the end.
We'll get to the theories. What we'll do is we'll go through the main story of it all, and then we'll go from there. So, I've gone into a bit of depth into actual Loch Ness itself as well, not just the monster. So, the Loch Ness is a large freshwater loch in Scotland, in the Scottish Highlands, that extending for approximately 37 kilometres, which is about 23 miles, southwest of Inverness. It takes its name from the River Ness, which flows from the northern end. So, Loch Ness is a large freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands, extending for approximately 37 kilometres. That's about 23 miles. It's southwest of Inverness. It takes its name from the River Ness, which flows from the north end. Loch Ness is best known for claimed sightings of the cryptozoological Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie, which is obviously what we're going to be talking about in this episode. But it's also 56 kilometres squared, which makes it the second largest loch by surface area after Loch Lomond. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, have I said that right? I know you know your sort of geography. Yeah, I know you know your geography and stuff like that. But due to its great depth, it is the largest by volume in Great Britain, and at its deepest point, it's 230 metres deep, which is 126 fathoms, making it the second deepest loch in Scotland after Loch Morar. Mm-hmm. It contains more water than all of the lakes in England and Wales combined, and is the largest body of water in the Great Glen, which runs from Inverness in the north to Fort William in the south. Now, that bit there fascinates me, is the fact that it's got more water than any of the lakes. I mean, that bit itself, I'm like, that's actually quite fascinating. I mean, I know it was deep because they tell you when you're on sort of like the tour as well. They tell you how, the width of it is like 8 miles or something across, and it could be going down. I could have got muddled up somewhere on. I was very drunk on the boat, okay? That's all I'm saying, is I was very drunk on the boat.
And it's a very big lake.
It's massive. I generally thought you could go up and drive around it, but you can't. So I was driving up thinking there's got to be another way up and around to come back down on yourself. No, there isn't. It's very confusing. Its surface, here we are, is 16 metres above sea level, and it contains a single artificial island named Cherry Island at the southwestern end. There are 9 villages around the loch, as well as Urquhart Castle, the village of Drochmadach. I'm trying my Scottish there, but I'm not very good at it. and then you've got the Loch Ness Centre and Exhibition. So the loch itself is pretty big. It's fantastic to see it if you've ever been. But here we go, getting into the actual information about Nessie, basically. So the first written account appears in a 7th century biography of St. Columba, who, according to the work, in 565 AD, the monster bit a swimmer and was prepared to attack another man when Columba intervened and ordered the beast to go back. I mean, that in itself, can we really believe something from 565 AD?
Like, all of what we've done is relying on accounts from 565 AD and older.
Yeah, it's very true. And the fact that, we believe that the Holy Grail is, at some stage in Glastonbury. It's crazy. But apparently it obeyed, and over the centuries, only occasional sightings were reported. Many of these alleged encounters seemed inspired by Scottish folklore, which abounds with a mythical water creature. Now, there's quite a few sort of mythical water creatures in Scottish folklore, because you've also got like the Kelpie and things like that. Now, obviously, we're not going to go too much into any of the other creatures, but do you know much about the Kelpie, any of you?
No, I've never
Vaguely heard the name.
So the Kelpie apparently is like a story
Kelp.
Yeah, pretty much on there.
It's just
Thanks
kelp.
for that. Basically, Scottish children were told stories of the Kelpie, that it's a horse that looks very pretty and very magical, and it would entice children to the lake. And when the child got on the horse, it became sticky and you couldn't get off, and it dragged them into the water and down to the bottom of the ocean, like to the bottom of the lakes. I'm already terrified of the ocean. That freaks me out. That right there is enough to put me off going in any lake ever as a kid.
Today's lesson: stay away from sticky seahorses.
Why is that a lesson? That shouldn't have to be a lesson.
They have to put warning labels on bleach, so yeah, that's a lesson.
And one packet of nuts now say may contain nuts.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Okay. All right, I get the point. In 1933, the Loch Ness Monster legend began to grow. At the time, a road adjacent to Loch Ness was finished, offering an unobstructed view of the lake. In April, a couple saw an enormous animal which they compared to a dragon or a prehistoric monster, and it crossed their car's path and disappeared into the water. So the first official recording in this sort of like this time wasn't even actually in the water. It was just randomly at the side of the road. This big creature just coming out of the woods. I'm sorry, but whatever they were smoking on their car journey must have been good. If they both saw this dragon coming out of the woods.
Back then, they had the good drugs as well.
It was 19.
They were definitely mushrooms. If they were in the woods, they were on mushrooms.
But
That's probably what they were doing, mushroom hunting.
Yeah, probably. Gives a whole new meaning to, chasing the magic dragon. So, in December 1933, the Daily Mail commissioned Marmaduke Wetherall, a big game hunter, to locate the sea serpent. Along the lake's shores, he found a large footprint that he believed to be a very powerful, soft-footed animal, which is about 20 feet, which would have been about 6 meters long. However, upon closer inspection, zoologists at the Natural History Museum determined that the tracks were identical and made with an umbrella stand or an ashtray of a hippopotamus leg as the base. Wetherall's role in the hoax at the time was unclear. So the fact that he's just gone, oh yeah, I found this footprint. So he's took a cast of it, sent it off to the museum. He's clearly got to know that these people are going to know exactly what this is. These people, zoologists. They're not going to look at it and go, oh my God, what is this? I have no idea. My whole career that I've spent years on, and I have no idea what this footprint is. I mean, that bit baffles me. Why did this guy thinks he could get away with this? I mean, just from that, what do you guys think? Have you heard that story? Did you guys come across that in your research at all?
There was a lot of hoaxes, a lot, and like that one I think came across to me. But the funny thing is that it was called light-footed, but then the size of it doesn't make sense.
No.
So even if you took the footprint as he said it, like there's no weighted indentation to say it's a heavy creature. I was like, what is Nessie made of? Helium.
Oh yeah. But it's the fact that they only found one footprint. Wouldn't there be tracks? Surely.
Like
So that it just baffles me. It really does. I mean, Liam, what did you come across this in your research at all?
Well, basically just what you said then, just like you say, like the fact there was one footprint, and like you say,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
No.
And that's the thing that sort of got me is I was listening to another podcast about it, and it was obviously saying that they found this one footprint, and I'm just thinking to myself, surely you'd go, I found a couple of tracks, and you'd at least have it going to the water. If that was me, I'd have them going to the water.
What he found was one footprint, a drag mark, and a bunch of broken trees, but he only gave him the footprint.
Yeah. So, as it goes on, the news only spurred the efforts to prove the monster's existence, and in 1934, English physician Robert Kenneth Wilson photographed the alleged creature in the iconic image that we all know today as the surgeon's photograph. It appeared to show the monster's small head and neck. The Daily Mail printed the photograph, sparking an international sensation. Many speculated that the creature was a plesiosaur, a marine reptile that went extinct some 65.5 million years ago. I believe they've recently found a head of something quite similar to that in the Dorset coast, which has a massive head from the looks of things. So I think it could be a plesiosaur. And then it was revealed in 1994 that the photograph was a hoax, which was spearheaded by Weatherall as a joke to get his own back on the Daily Mail for basically taking the mick out of him because they smeared his name after the hoax. And it all was a plastic and wooden head attached to a toy submarine. Now, I've seen documentaries where they've recreated the image, and it is very simple of how they've done it. And because of where the light is and the contrast, it is quite hard to tell if it was a fake or not because of where it was. Now, as I said on our episode on the Amityville, Omer, we mentioned about Photoshop being back then it was quite hard to do, but to be fair, the very first doctored image that we know of was of Abraham Lincoln. They put his head on somebody else's body, so I mean it was not as if it wasn't known of to edit pictures. And what they did is they cropped quite a fair bit of the image out so that they only had the shore and the water without seeing all the background and everything. Because if they had all the background in it, it looks dead tiny because it pretty much was about the size of your forearm. It's not as if it was a massive thing. So, I mean, it's quite clever how they got away with it for so long. And the fact that that picture was taken 1936 and it wasn't revealed until 1994 that it was a fake. And then in 2018, researchers conducted a DNA survey of Loch Ness to determine what organisms live in the water. There are no signs of plesiosaurs or such large animals were found, though the results indicate that there are presence of numerous eels. So obviously that's one of the theories that they believe it's an eel. And then my last little bit that I've got here, despite the lack of conclusive evidence, the Loch Ness Monster still remains ever popular and profitable, and in the early 21st century it is thought to have contributed over $80 million annually to Scotland's economy. So I mean, just on that, I mean, they're still pumping this for the Loch Ness Monster, and they're making quite a fair bit of money off it. And that's probably what's keeping Scotland going at the moment. Is they don't have to worry about anything else. Just keep pumping out pictures of Nessie, and they've got it, haven't they? They're doing well. So I
Sounds
mean,
very similar to Roswell.
it does, doesn't it? It does. It does. So on that, Liam, did you come across anything else at all?
Where the hell's it gone?
See, this is what we're like on our when we're doing ours. We've got notes, we just don't know where we've put them.
Yeah. I looked up some of the misidentifications of known animals and stuff, and there was obviously talk about Greenland sharks, and obviously mentioned eels. And there was even a part that said something about elephants.
The elephant one makes sense, because if you look at an elephant in deep bodies of water, it's just the top of their head, which looks like a hump, and their trunk that stays over. So what you see of what you're thinking, it looks like an elephant.
Yeah, they were saying the surgeon's photo, weren't they? Looked like an elephant that had come from a circus and gone for a swim. I'm sorry. But who the hell is going on?
No.
You'd be able to notice an elephant going for a walk.
No, given the fact we've already said how deep the loch is, then...
Yeah.
No. Well, the loch is deep enough, but the surgeon's photo, the theory was that he'd taken it somewhere else, but said he'd taken it in Scotland. Because you've got no local zoos that could get an elephant into Loch Ness. So he's taken it possibly on holiday somewhere, elephant in the sea, cropped it just so he can pretend it is the lake.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a few other fake pictures out there like that, which have something that does look greyish and bits of hair on it, which makes everyone thinks it's a mammal. But if you look at an elephant in deep water, looks very similar.
I mean, like I say, you would notice. Have you seen Crazy Dave walking his elephant down to the loch again? I mean, you definitely know, wouldn't you? There's also
look at the pictures. There's all the pictures that are taken with that similar image in it, with a creature that could be an elephant. They're cropped so much, you're not even sure it's the lake.
Exactly. You've also got the diamond fin as well. I don't know if you've seen that picture. It's in murky water.
That's because of the plesiosaur.
Yeah, and it's just the fin, and that's it. And again, that's a very famous picture that it still circulates to this date. I mean, have you guys seen those images as well of the diamond fin?
Yeah, the diamond fin comes from the plesiosaur, because that's what it's meant to have. 4 diamond fins, long tail, long head.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what they believe the Loch Ness looks like. Now, I've also, as I've been going through it and I've watched countless amounts of documentaries and heard some of the stories, and there was one team that went up there, and basically there was some rules put in as well that whatever is found creature-wise in Loch Ness that is unknown, it has to be looked at by Scottish government, basically. Anyone within the Scottish bounds has to look at it before anybody else. And then there was this story that they found a greyish sort of creature on the side of the loch, and there was a team there at the time looking, and they found it, and they brought it back to England, and then it all kicked off. And basically the police were involved. It got escorted back from England back to Scotland, where it was looked at by one of the zoologists here, in Scotland. And it turns out that it was an elephant seal, and they were a bit confused because elephant seals aren't native to the area. And what it turned out is it was from a zoo back in England, and when they found that this team was going up as a joke, the guy padded up a dead elephant seal that had died a couple of days earlier. He padded its mouth with rocks, froze it to sort of disorientate its sort of image, and literally just dumped it on the side of the river as a joke. And I think this joke went a little bit too far, there was police involved, there was all different sort of arguments between two governments, and I think this guy must have gone, oh,
Did you say this? Did you read all the hoaxes behind it?
Oh, there's loads. There's absolutely loads.
Yeah, there's a few that were just as bad.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I do want to talk about as well, as obviously I know there's hoaxes and there's all sorts of things, because obviously each of us have a bit of an interest in the story of the Loch Ness. Now, for me, my fascination, oddly enough, came when I saw the film with Ted Danson in it about Loch Ness. I don't know if you remember that film. I generally think it's called.
vaguely remember this.
I can't remember what. I think it might just be called Loch Ness. It's an old film. It's really. I think it's like early 90s. I mean, old man there doing his research and having a quick.
I was just checking it because I do remember it, and it was called Loch Ness from 1996.
Yeah, and that's like one of the films that fascinated me with Loch Ness, and it's one of the things that has actually striked my fascination about it. Now, Omer, what about you? Anything in particular that stands out that struck your fascination with Loch Ness?
It's just, I think it was like the idea that it was a dinosaur. And when we were kids, like Jurassic Park was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what sparked my... I was like, a dinosaur that could still be alive?
Imagine the steak you can make from that.
I can finally get one of those cartoon pieces of meat where it's the bone and just a big piece of meat.
Don't, mate. Don't. That just sounds too good. Liam, what about you? Is anything stick in your mind that sort of struck your fancy with Loch Ness that sort of enticed you into it originally?
Very similar, really. Like you say, I think, well, hoping the fact there was still some sort of dinosaur out there that was still alive.
Yeah.
That was intrigued me. But I remember a film myself. It's not the ones you were talking about. I don't know when it was out. It was called The Evil Beneath Loch Ness. I remember it not being very good.
To be fair, the film with Ted Danson wasn't very good. I just remember it quite fondly.
The whole part of this one was the fact that a bit like, remember the really bad Godzilla film where it was somehow laid eggs, even though it was only one.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that. Like I said, they found all these eggs of the Loch Ness Monster down there as well, and it was a whole case of like killing them and the eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omer, have you found it?
Yeah, Evil Beneath Loch Ness, but out in 2002.
Yeah.
Starring Patrick Bergin. I don't even know who that is.
I may have to watch it.
Yeah, like, dude, you just need to look at the cover art for it.
It's just like an eye, isn't it?
It sets expectations. No, they've got the head, but it's like, I'll put it in the chat. But
I mean, it could be one of them now. If I watched it now, it might be one of them films where it's that bad, it's good.
Yeah. But to be fair, though, there's a lot of films like, Street Fighter, let's put it that way. That is so bad, it's good. Jean-Claude Van Damme coked out of his face for the entire film. I mean, what more can you ask for? What we will do at this point, we're going to take a very quick break and we'll be back with all our theories.
And we're back deep under the murky waters of Loch Ness, hiding in the sweet seaweed? No, that doesn't make sense. I was making this up off the top of my head.
Trying to be like, sort of bring it back with suspense and then just sort of goes, I have no idea where I am.
There's no seaweed under there.
There is a lot of silt, though. That's mostly why they can't find anything down there. But yeah, we are back. But yeah, just going into that. That's basically there's layers of silt under the water of Loch Ness. That's why it's so murky for such a freshwater loch. You would think that it'd usually be quite clear and easy to sort of for them to dive down and go down and see. There's actually a crashed plane in the loch as well, which they were telling us about, and I believe they pulled it up at one point, or they were going to pull it up, and when they went down, it was like perfectly preserved because of the silt, because it's a higher level of concentration of silt down there than any other sort of body of water. But as soon as you start making movement underwater, because it's so fine, it's picking it up and it makes the water dead murky, and that's why they can't find anything. But they also believe there's like lots of underground caves, like a cave system under the water as well, and if there is anything down there, that's why they can't find it. Because they have done many times where they've had sort of eyewitness accounts where they've said, oh, I've seen, Loch Ness, and I mean, even to this day, I mean, there was only one like a few months ago that someone said they'd seen it in like a little village, and we're still getting reports and sightings of Loch Ness. There are, I believe, 24-hour cameras that are actually set up around Loch Ness now, where you can look at the loch. I mean, I don't know who has the time to sit there all day, every day to watch it, but to you, good sir, who is doing that, I toast to you, because I couldn't do it. I'd be bored. Just
depends how much I'm getting paid.
Nothing. He's doing it for free. But I mean, in regards to that, then, we've got a lot of theories that we can go through. What we believe it is, do we believe? I just want to sort of discuss more about the actual the monster itself. Now, obviously, we've had so many different theories as to what it could be. We've had so many different descriptions. Like I say, the most common one is the plesiosaur. But I mean, have you guys heard of any other sort of descriptions of what it could look like?
Plesiosaur, eel, wingless dragon. What was the other one? Like, I think Liam mentioned it at the top of his episode, Greenland shark, which, looking at one, I really couldn't see the similarities.
Yeah, I thought that when I read that, I was like, where are they getting that from? Like, usually
was
anything with a long neck.
Yeah, it doesn't have any. It doesn't even have anything that you can.
Shark.
Yeah.
Just a random giraffe just walking along the lake. I can see it now. Yeah, catfish. I've heard that one as well. Is that it's just a very big catfish.
The one that seems to be the more popular one was a conger eel.
Yeah.
Just a very big eel that's apparently as big as a man.
It's a big
I don't know,
eel.
it can grow up to 6 foot, I think.
Yeah, no, I like I say that. Why do you think I avoid bodies of water? We don't know what's down there, right? The ocean freaks me. No, the ocean freaks me out already. The fact that we've only explored like 10% of the ocean floor, we've explored more of space than we have our own ocean. At some point, NASA was down at the bottom of the ocean. They saw something and thought, "Fuck that! We're getting off this planet. Let's go and explore space instead." So, I mean, that just there puts me like, nah, I ain't going down there. Not a cat in hell's chance. But yeah, let's get into some theories then. So obviously, the main theory is there is a monster there. You know, that's the whole thing. But it's trying to determine what this monster is. Now, let's go to some of the sightings. So that first sighting where it's come down the side of the road and it's sort of gone into the loch. What do we think on that one? Did you guys read much into that actual incident at all?
Aliens dropped it with a tractor beam. That's why the foot was light, and they dropped it in the water.
It was Mothman.
So I am now saying it as soon as I can. Nessie is an alien.
That'd be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it would change the entire concept of it.
Yeah.
Is that Nessie was an alien all along. All right.
I mean, Nessie has advanced tech. It doesn't look like tech to us, but it is advanced tech. That's why we can never.
That's why we can never find it. Yeah.
See it. Yeah.
But in regards to that first official sighting that we've had, this couple, they apparently saw it at the side of the road in 1935, I believe it was, or was it 1933?
33, wasn't it? 33.
33. Sorry, yeah, 1933. The very first sighting was apparently outside of the loch and coming down the road. For me, I don't think I believe that they made something up. Maybe they did see something. Don't get me wrong, but this is the thing that sparked it all off. So they had to come up with a story that was interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, the story itself I think is quite fun. It's interesting. I mean, I'm one of those ones, as I've said in every episode, is I'm always on the fence. I look for the illogical side and, the fun side of it. And with this story, because every story I've ever heard of Loch Ness, it's always been, oh, its head popped out of the water. Oh, we saw it on the side of the lake. It's never been coming down the hillside. So I think, as a starting point, you just get into the Loch Ness like rolling down, going, ah!
I now know what the song is about. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
Oh, may ruined my train of thought. I was where I was going with this.
Sorry.
in regards to that theory that they saw something coming down, for me, we like to score things on a scale of 1 to 5, Liam, just so you know now. So our theories, we scale on a score of 1 to 5, but we don't just look at it as a realistic way, we look at it in the fun kind of way as well, because there's no merit to it. We're not scientists, we're not ufologists, we're not going to go and pack up tomorrow and go and try and find Loch Ness Monster. Exactly. Me and Omer, we're
cryptozoologists? No, that's a different thing. Cryptozoologist, that's it.
Yeah, we're not all going to start like pack up our stuff and go and look for the Loch Ness Monster. So it's just for fun. And
It's too cold up there.
I think for me, this first initial story of it coming down the side of the hill, I'm giving it a 1. As much as it sort of sparked off the whole hunt for Nessie, I think that first story is, I don't know, I think it's the most, because it's just a bullshit story for me. They just they wanted something from their holiday that was more exciting, because they've realised we've gone to Scotland and there's nothing here. We are bored. Let's make it a bit more interesting. And that's the best they could come up with. For me, nah, it's a 1. What about you, Omer? What do you give the story of the Loch Ness Monster at the side of the road?
I mean, the Loch Ness Monster at the side of the road.
Sort of like that
It's
scene.
just 'cause of-
Sort of like that scene at the end of The Incredible Hulk. You know, as he's just trying to hitch a ride.
I mean, their accounts of it and how they did it all, like, I don't like it. I'm with you on a 1. But the fact that it sparked it, and then we got the surgeon's photo literally a year after.
Yeah.
Because that was 34. And then it started, like, you wouldn't have, like, it in the conscious, subconscious, like, now if it wasn't for that. So
Yeah.
I like the fact it happened, but I think they could have done better. I mean, if you're going to fake it, do a better job.
Yeah. Liam, what about yourself? What do you give this original story that it's at the side of the road?
I'm going to give it 1.5, and a half just for the drugs that they were clearly taking.
Actually, I agree with that one.
I'll up that to a 2 if you share the drugs.
Definitely. I mean, going even further back, the first story of some random priest telling it to stop eating people and go back. And it's the fact that this thing wasn't even found in Loch Ness. It was actually found in the River Ness, which obviously feeds into Loch Ness. I kind of like that story. And I mean, I know I said at the start, where are we really going to believe a story from 565 AD? But, I mean, look at us as we've talked about Göbekli Tepe. Obviously, I know we've got evidence that we can see. We haven't got evidence of the Holy Grail. We haven't got evidence of the Ark of the Covenant. But we still very much believe those stories, and we like the stories. And
we all believe St. George fought a dragon in the 1500s.
exactly. So, for me, I really like this story that this geezer literally just popped up and went, yeah, mate, stop biting my mates and bugger off. I really like that story. And for me, I'm giving that a 4 because I really enjoy it. I just think there's this priest, right? He's thinking, he's like, the dog's bollocks. He's just rocked up to the lake and gone, "Oi, piss off." He's that old guy when you was a kid playing football near his house. "Oi, piss off back down your own end. I know your mum." Right? And you were scared of him. And that's exactly what this priest was. And that, for me, that's a 4. Hands down, a 4.
I got the image of the priest with a rolled up newspaper just whacking it on the nose.
Yeah.
Bad!
Exactly,
Badness!
exactly what I was thinking. I want them big long sticks that they have for the bloody collections.
Yeah. He's in his collection basket.
Belting it on here.
The power of Christ compels you. I mean, it is Scotland. You can hear it now in the Scottish accent as he's hitting it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to do it with a pair of bagpipes then.
Omer, what do you give that one?
I mean, because of the sheer joy it just gave me, I'm giving it a 4.
Yes, yes. Liam, what about
Just
yourself?
the idea of this old priest.
Just because we all agreed how funny it would be if just to see a priest sitting it on the head with a newspaper, I'm going to say a 5. Then.
Yes, damn right. That's a good one. Now, obviously, we also have the surgeon's photo. A lot of people still dispute that this was a hoax, because the guy who confirmed it was a hoax was in his late 80s. He wasn't very well, and his mental condition wasn't very stable at the time as well when he told us all this. And he was the stepbrother of the people that took the original photo, and obviously the footprints and everything like that. Now, like I say, I've seen documentaries where they've shown us how it was done, what it looks like. I mean, part of me wants to believe that the surgeon's photo is still real, because it is the thing that sort of all these sort of hunters of Nessie have hooked onto for years. It's like, yeah, well, none of us have ever seen him again. Yeah, but there's photo evidence, and you can't disprove this photo because the evidence is there right in front of you. And none of them could disprove it because they couldn't tell. Now, part of me still wants to believe, sort of like, you know, we may be adults, but at some time, especially when around children, there's still that part of you that wants to believe in the magic of Christmas. There's part of me that still wants to believe in the magic of this picture of the surgeon's photo of the Loch Ness. And for many years, I mean, somewhere deep down, I still think it could possibly be real. And the fact that we've just been told it was a hoax is just a cover-up so that we don't go looking for Nessie and we just get on with our lives. For me, because I have read that, you know, people still to this day believe it's real, no matter what people have said, no matter the evidence that they've shown that they can recreate this picture quite easily with a little bit of wood and a toy dinosaur, they still dispute it.
Driftwood, that was the other thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just remembered, one of my research notes says, Nessie, all the pictures that you've seen were just driftwood.
Yeah, there's that as well. I am going to give the fact that I believe that it's still quite a possibility that that picture is real. I want to give that a 3 for myself. Like I say, you guys might be completely different. You might believe in the fact that it was something that was made up. It was a toy that was put together. But for me, this is a 3. It's a solid 3 because I like the idea that it could still quite possibly be real. Omer, what about you?
Surgeon's photo. I think at first, before I started my research, I'd probably give it a 3 as well. But after researching this and looking at the surgeon's picture side by side to sort of the hobbled together thing that they say he used, or even side by side with an elephant in deep water, I would have to say it's a 1. I can't. It's grainy, it's old, like, there was little to nothing going for it in the first place, and then it's less when you put it against, like, clear evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been other pictures which I would say are more convincing than that one since.
Like the fin.
Like the fin. Actually, there was one in, there was drone footage in 2021.
Yeah, of something swimming on the lake on top. It's like it was thrashing, wasn't it?
No, it was under the water. It wasn't on top, but it was near the coast. But it was drone footage from head over. I can send you the link to the image. But it was drone footage, and you could see like what looks like sort of Loch Ness Monster, sort of the plesiosaur shape, just near the coast. As the drone zooms in, it becomes more clearer, but the drone didn't get close enough to get a clear image.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that one is possibly like, it was live streamed, so they're not saying it was doctored, but they're saying it's likely sort of a trick of the light.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll send you a link to that one. But
yeah,
even that I would believe more than what I would the what's it called? The surgeon's photo. So
yeah,
I gotta go 1.
No worries. Liam, what about yourself? What are you giving that one?
On the photo, I'm probably going to go for a 2, just because one of my theories that I have, which obviously I'll tell you at some point, it looks very similar to it. So it'll be quite funny when I tell you.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to that one then. Omer,
it's Big Bird. He's lying. He was trying to hide that he knows the Loch Ness Monster. Monster?
Monster? What the fuck is the Loch Ness Monster?
Is Big Bird.
Omer, what theories have you come across?
A few. A lot of them came across sort of the animal ones to say it's an animal of a different species. I really like the eel one. Looking at the eel and what it would like sticking its head out of the water, and the fact that eels are native to the area, so it could be.
Yeah.
The rest of the theories all like relied on sort of weirdness that I just
Sort
can't,
of, it's like mistaken identity. A lot of it, isn't it? It's like
yeah,
mistaking.
a lot of it.
One of them was someone mistook the wave. So I believe they were trying to break a land speed record, water speed record with one of the boats. Whereas it got to one end, and as they turned it around to come back, they saw the waves coming. But what they hadn't quite sort of worked out properly is that as you're coming one way and you turn around to go the other, the waves are still coming. And as they've gone to go, they've hit the wave and literally toppled the boat. And they claimed that it was a Loch Ness one. Really, it was, your own wrongdoing by the waves that you created have hit your. But what you should have done is not gone back into the same line that you've done to come there. You should have done like a sort of like an oval shape and gone round. And that way you would have avoided the wave that hit you instead of trying to go back in a straight line, which was just idiotic, basically. So
I'm far from a genius, but isn't that basic physics?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, these people are meant to be doing this to break a record.
Yeah,
and you would have thought, oh, hang on a minute.
No. You're forgetting most record breakers aren't actually scientists. They're just people who do one thing really well.
Well, he didn't do it very well, did he? He sunk his boat.
I mean, he went in one direction really fast.
Yeah, but then he lost his boat. It still doesn't count. I mean, he will go down forever in history as the idiot person who drove back into his wave and claimed it to be the Loch Ness Monster. But yeah,
maybe that's what he was hoping for.
Maybe. There is.
But yeah, like
go on.
A lot of the theories that I came across, I kind of made some of my own. I got a few of them actually, but like none of them were like, they're all mostly misidentifying, or as you mentioned, like the Kelpie thing, or something that was already rooted in current folklore.
Yeah.
Although the one thing I did like is you mentioned Lake Mora at the beginning, the other big lake. It also has a monster.
Oh right, okay. What lives in there?
Apparently, the same thing as Nessie.
So there's two of them.
Oh no! I looked into the cryptids more, like a little more, and there's at least 8 others around the world that look like Nessie.
Right, the last time we spoke about sort of cryptids and things like that, and we spoke about Mothman, you said that they hold like a yearly convention where they all get together. So I mean, is this like a family relation thing, or is it just the fact that they all?
That's one of my theories, but we'll get into that one later.
Similar to each other. Do these guys all connect to each other and make one big giant sort of plesiosaur that can fly?
Like a Voltron situation.
Yeah, sort of like a Voltron situation.
I'll be the leg. I'll be the...
Transformers, robots in disguise. It's just sort of transforming. I mean,
I got a full list of all of them as well.
Oh, for God's sake! Of course, are you going to tell me next that you managed to get hold of police reports for this as well? Because for every episode,
you
managed to get police reports for everything.
And not for this one. I didn't have enough time, because I only did the research today. I didn't have time for anything that deep.
You wasn't even at work today.
I had other things to do today. I am an adult most of the time.
Could have fooled me.
What is it? So we've got Champy, North America, Lake Champlain.
Can I just interrupt? Is one of them the Cadbrosaurus?
No.
No.
Am I adding the Cadbrosaurus to this?
Whoa. The what? What have I missed here?
Yeah, the Cadbrosaurus. I believe it is I believe that's in somewhere in America as well, and it is basically the same thing.
This is amazing.
They've got statues of it and everything, I think.
I'm thinking now, right? This is the Godzilla situation. You know, like it's got the hollow earth theory where it just basically swims through the hollow earth. That's all it's doing. All the lakes are connected through a hollow cave system. And it's just the same thing swimming between them all. And that's why no one can find it, because there's one of them. And it's just connected to all these other lakes. There you go. We've solved it. We've done it. There you go.
Well, I mean, where these lakes are weird, because there's only one in North America. Oh, wait, where was Cadbrosaurus?
2 seconds, I've just got it up here. Oh, I did have. Where's it gone?
See, I'm loving this. We've got more information than I thought we actually had. This is great.
What's the count? Nessie, Mora, Champi, Gloucester Serpent, Mama Lambo,
I beg your pardon.
Morcola, Go Pogo Go Go,
It says the Pacific coast of North America.
Selma, Lake, and
British Columbia. The Cadbury Bay in Greater Victoria, British Columbia.
Right, okay.
So I got 10 in total if you include Loch Ness. There's 10 of them in total.
Nah, it's all the same thing. That's what I'm telling you. And there's a cave system that it's swimming between.
But majority of them focus in either Scotland or Africa.
Are we onto something here? Are the government going to go and kicking the door down again and taking me away? This is the thing I'm worried about now. Well, if we open up a can of worms...
Yeah. It's just the Nessie family. I don't know what you would call the Nessie family, because Nessie's the name of one of them. It's not the species. It's a Leopleurodon.
What's the plural for plesiosaur? Plesiosauruses?
Plesiosauri.
Yeah. Plesiosauri. Plesiosauri. Okay. Well,
Plesiosauri.
I mean, we'll say that. We'll coin the term now, and we'll copyright that shit. But yeah, that's actually quite interesting. That there's quite a few more. Oh, Mary, have you got any more that you've come across? In fact, let's just sort of rate the theory that there's more than one.
And they're all related. That's what we're going for.
And they're all related. I'm giving that a 5. I like that. I like the fact that there's this family of plesiosauri just sort of like chilling about somewhere, just meeting up every now and then for sort of family conventions.
It's not a family convention. They all meet in the middle of the Atlantic. They have like a round table meeting, and they're doing quotas on how many hoaxes they've created about themselves. So they're real, but it's a quota of how many hoaxes you've started.
We can tie this to the final episode of this season. I reckon they all get together at the Bermuda Triangle. And that's why we have the Bermuda Triangle. There you go. Done and dusted. Adam,
that's why things go missing.
We don't need Adam on that episode now. We've done. That's what I believe, is that they all get together, they meet up at sort of Bermuda Triangle. It might not be central to everybody, but, some of them have to travel a bit further. They all get there together, have this meeting, and then just go back and don't see each other for another year.
Is there a prize for who's made the most hoaxes?
Yes. They get to pick whether they take down a ship or a plane. That's their prize. They get to take one of them down. So there you go. And yeah, I like that. I kind of like. I'm definitely giving that a 5. Definitely giving that a 5, just for the fact it's fun. And that is the only. There's no evidence behind it. I'm just giving it a 5 for fun.
I mean, I really like, just because of the convention in the Bermuda Triangle. That's a 6.
Love it. Liam, on the completely balls to the wall idea that Omer's come up with, what are you giving it out of 5?
Well, if we're going along the lines that they're all one big family, then I'm going to have to go a 5 or a 6 as well.
Nice, there we go. And I just need to put that out there, folks, that this one was just for fun. There's no evidence to it anywhere. It's just us just sort of spitballing with an idea that we enjoy.
Musing on cryptid facts.
Yeah. Omer, have you got any more that's come up your way that you seemed interested in?
Besides my own, not many of the others, no.
Okay.
The rest of them are all official theories. Somebody disproved it being a plesiosaur by saying it was impossible because the Loch Ness was only created 1,000 years ago, and before that it was a big ice sheet.
Yeah, it was a
landlocked ice sheet at that.
It was one of the glaciers, but the theory is that
when
it
swam melted,
up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would mean it would have had to frozen in the glacier.
No, what
after 2 extinction events.
The theory is that it melted, and as as it melted, it was higher at the time. And what's happened is the plesiosaur swam up the river because it was higher at the time, because it's come from the ocean, and it's gone in. And then due to the fact that there's been the weather, there's erosion, and the water sort of trickled back out, and it can't get back out, and it's got itself trapped there. That's one of the things that I heard while we were in Scotland on the boat, and they were telling us a story of that's what they believe. You know, the people of the area believe that's what happened if it is a plesiosaur. Is that it swam
65 million ago it existed. Then 10,000 years it started defrosting.
It survived in the ocean.
20,000 years it froze. It survived in the ocean until 20,000 years ago it froze. 10,000 years ago it started defrosting and then worked its way down into Loch Ness. And another one in Loch Mohe.
If the Avatar can do it, so can the plesiosaur.
I mean, he has spirit powers.
That's
I called the plesiosaur alien, so maybe he does have the powers.
There you go. Eat your own words. Liam, what theories did you come across that you enjoyed?
Not a lot really. Like I said, I ended up getting thinking about my own a lot more, to be honest.
Go for it.
I'm intrigued on this. What is it?
Did it. We loved it, so let's go for it.
I've still got another one, so.
Obviously, all the sightings of like krakens and stuff in the sea. Have you heard what people seem to think what they tend to be?
Krakens are squids, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the sightings for them, what they say what it actually is.
No,
I don't know this.
So blue whales, very big animals. That means they also have a very big something else as well. Yeah.
The genitals of a blue whale is the kraken. Okay.
I can see it. I can see it now. Just this whale swinging his thing around and just wait. Yeah. Just that lands upon shore. You're gonna think it's Loch Ness.
It would be a smaller whale. It would be a blue whale in Loch Ness, but it would be a smaller whale. But a whale would fit.
Well, I mean, any whale. I mean, they're all a good size. So they're all going to have a good size downstairs as well.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
So your theory is that the whale is like swimming on its belly, on its back, belly up, thing in the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if it's on its own, it's going to get bored.
Yeah.
I mean, dolphins do, so yeah.
You never know.
He's just decided to swim backwards one day, relax. Somebody's taken an inappropriate picture.
And now he's got to stick with it.
That picture now goes to the Bermuda Triangle where the family laugh at it.
Well, if you really want to Google whale penis,
I don't think I'm brave enough.
You can put that in black and white. It looks very much like the surgeon's penis.
Again, I'm going with a 5 on that one because I like that.
I just love the idea of a whale just swimming backwards. It is. We are now the paparazzi that work for like the Sun. That's on page 3 in Whale Journal.
Yeah, definitely. That's on the Sunday Sport. That one. That's like the front page of the Sunday Sport.
I'm giving that a 5 just because
I'm giving it a 5. Liam, that's yours. What are you scoring at 1 out of 5?
I'm going to go 6 then, haven't I?
Yeah, definitely. Have you got any more that you've come across?
No, not really. That was about it.
Yeah. Oh, May, you said you've got one more.
Personal theory.
Yeah.
Not an actual one.
No.
I think I was talking to my sister about this today because I was like asking her what she knows about the Loch Ness Monster. And the first thing she does is she goes into the gender equality argument. She was like, no, it's not Nessie. It's Was it Frank? No, Frank. It's not a girl. It's a boy.
Okay.
You're misgendering. You just need to go ask it. Which then made me think, like, have we misgendered it? And if we have, that means it has a gender, so there's 2 of them. So there's got to be 2, because it's either got a long lifespan, or we're now looking at its children.
Okay.
Right? And I don't know why my head went this way, but it was like, Norse mythology, you have Jormungandr.
Yeah.
The world serpent.
Yeah.
Huge-ass snake, child of Loki. In biblical mythology, well, I say mythology, so that's going to upset someone. In the Bible and all Abrahamic religions, you have the Leviathan. So what if these two met, had babies, and dropped them in all the lakes? These lakes are just nurseries for their children.
Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. So going off the biblical side of things, yeah, I'm gonna give that a 3. I like it.
Like, you wouldn't like put them all together, otherwise they'd like overtake the sea, but you need to keep the sea as it is. So all these, that's why they're not there when we go looking for them, because they're the babies.
Yeah.
And then they're working into the sea afterwards.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll give that a 3. I like it. It's a good one. What are you giving it, Omer?
I'll go Liam first. My theory. Liam, what do you think?
I reckon a 2. I think after the whole whale penis talk, it's just...
It's kind of hard to top that one.
You started with the better one.
It's hard to top that now. I think we've had some fun theories there, and obviously the whole story of Loch Ness will always keep fascinating us. And again, another thing that I like to ask is, would you like to know the truth if we ever found it? Omer, straight to you first. If you could know the truth, would you want to know, or are you happy living in the mystery of the Loch Ness?
I would like them to put it was a hoax by Channel 5 who made a little animatronic Nessie, called it Lucy, and they were scaring people with it for a while. So they were like doing like fake things, and then they announced it, hey, it was a fake, it was us, and they dropped it in Loch Ness. I'd have just found it funny if it stayed there forever. So like Loch Ness, I'd be happy if Loch Ness didn't exist, but Lucy was still at the bottom, so there would be a Loch Ness Monster for future generations to find. But it was just us dropping something in.
But it's just us. All right then. Yeah. Okay. Liam, what about you? If you could know the truth, would you like to know, or are you happy living in the mystery?
Well, I've thought about this a lot, because obviously I know you've asked this question, and I'd like to know, but only on the basis that, we leave it alone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I try to go hunting it and putting on a barbecue or something like that.
No. Just
I second that.
I'd like to know. I think I'm the same. Yeah, I'd like to know. Leave it alone. Know it's there. I'm happy with knowing the fact it's there. That's fine. I wouldn't mind going on a boat and possibly seeing it, but as long as we're not hunting it and we're leaving it alone. I agree with that one.
Are you sure you still want to go see it knowing it's a whale penis?
I mean, I'm not going to stroke it, if that's what you're getting at. But
make sure you shower before and after.
Yeah. But I think yes. I think on that note of whale penis, it might be a good place to end the episode. To be honest, remember, if you have liked the show, to like, comment, and subscribe, and please go and give Liam's show a follow as well. Let's talk about. Like I say, they've got quite a few episodes out there at the moment. It's a great show to listen to. Very funny, very insightful as well. And if you like this show, you're going to like theirs, because it's very good. Some of the things you guys talk about is great. I think at one point I was listening to one of your episodes. It was the aliens one, and I think it was something about fish on another planet somewhere, and it just absolutely tickled me so much. And it's like I say, there are bits that just get me every time, and definitely go and watch it. Go and listen. You guys are on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, pretty much everywhere we are, aren't you? Yeah, we will put links. We'll put links on our page. Go and listen to them. Go and check them out. We will have seen that we do share them quite a fair bit as well. Liam, again, thank you very much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure. We hope that you do come back for our next season. It'd be great to have you on again. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what other show can you get away with about talking about whale penis? I mean, it's just...
I would probably.
yeah, exactly. It's been great to have you on. We hope you do come back again. We hope you have enjoyed it. And remember, with our show, me and Omer have now got a coffee page going where we are trying to get onto sort of for season 4 and onwards. We want to get video podcast going. So a little bit of a support from you guys listening will be great. Like I say, from donations as little as 50p can help towards getting us all the equipment that we need to make sure that we're bringing you bigger, better content for the future. And on that note, it's good night. It's goodbye from me, goodbye from Omer, goodbye from Liam, and we'll see you next time on the next episode.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this intriguing journey through the unknown. We've had a blast exploring mysteries, conspiracies, and the extraordinary with you.
If you've enjoyed our discussion and want to stay updated on our latest episodes, make sure to hit the subscribe button and share the caffeinated love.
And if you've got a conspiracy theory or an unsolved mystery and you'd like us to delve into it, don't hesitate. Drop us a line. We love hearing from you.
Until our next caffeinated adventure, keep sipping on curiosity and remember that sometimes the truth is hidden behind the most unexpected place. This is Omer.
And I'm Glenn, signing off from Caffeinated Conspiracies. Cheers, and until next time, take care, and may your curiosity never run dry.